Nithyananda, let's start our manifestation session. Let's sit straight, visualize Bhagwan in third eye, and start with the Satguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, such a beautiful darshan and diksha and powerful cognition from Bhagwan. Living as Kailasha Vasi all over the world is the ultimate space that Bhagwan is creating for all of us who have come down to celebrate Bhagwan, how one became many. Each one is a universe, Bhagwan so beautifully says. Enjoying that space and realizing that consciousness is the ultimate. I am Paramashiva, is the ultimate space. Living only for that purpose, being integrated only for that, and seeking for realizing that will simply make it happen. With that space, let's start the power manifestation today. Let's understand first, what is power manifestation? Power manifestation is nothing but a cognitive shift and can infuse powerfulness into any action or state that we are in. It raises the frequency of our body and mind to ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita. Bhagavan beautifully says, the more and more the seeking literally opens up to the change from one to becoming the infinity. The uniqueness in all of us starts flowering when we start understanding the higher reality. How beautifully he says, the bee is going around continuously, but settles when the flower opens. Like that, when we are fulfilled, we fall into the deep silence of oneness with Paramashiva, which is Turiyatita state, which is manifesting powers. Paramashiva in us, he is the Ajomuha, beyond the form and formless, continuously doing the Panchakritya, the Satyojata phase, Vamadeva, Aghora, Tatpurusha, Ishana is doing the Panchakritya of manifestation, sustenance, regeneration, delusion, and liberation. Continuously, the Big Bang and Handhold is happening simultaneously, and Bhagavan himself, Paramashiva himself, has come down in our Guru form and liberating all of us. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightened system, the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. He's an avatar and supreme pontiff of Hinduism. He's made the science of power manifestation, yoga, temple-based university, user-friendly for the modern world. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam survived the worst prosecution in multi-level by anti-Hindu elements. Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam and his Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace 24/7, 365 days. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam is a founder of Nithyananda Hindu University, which has extended campus of 150 countries. He is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, Swargapura Adinam, and present Maharaj of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam. Bhagwan has come down in the human form as avatar of this millennium to raise the humanity into superconscious being, the being of Kailasha. Bhagwan has beautifully designed the science of power manifestation, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, foolproof. The Shastra Pramanas, the 2 crore Upanishads, Vedas, Agamas, are all the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the Hindu source scriptures. They are the Shastra Pramanas. Apta Pramanas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, Siddhas. They are the authorities of Hinduism, as they are the scientists who time-tested and verified the science of paramanifestation in human body, experiencing and expressing the superconsciousness as they are Paramashiva. Apta Pramanas. Aptas are the all avatars who land on the millennium to raise the consciousness of the human being. Here, His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium avatar, personal experience, the Leelas of power manifestation, each power manifestation that Bhagavan himself enacted for all of us to understand how in the human form we can be ferocious and experience breaking the boredom and tiredness, the higher consciousness. Shakshi Pramanas. Shakshi Pramanas are the experience of millions of disciple, devotees and followers initiated by Bhagavan into the science of power manifestation to experience the higher reality. Here, the Shastra Pramana. Each Shastra Pramana are from the Veda Agamas. And beautifully, Bhagavan has given us the science of power manifestation today from Sutra 71, Dharana 70.
Sutra 71, Dharana 70. दिव्यदेहश्च तेजस्वी दिव्यगन्धस्वरो भवान् सम्पूर्णहृदयः शून्य आरम्भे योगवान् भवेत् दिव्यदेहश्च तेजस्वी दिव्यगन्धस्वरो भवान् सम्पूर्णहृदयः शून्य आरम्भे योगवान् भवेत्.
So beautiful. In this sutra, Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Sutra 71, Dharana 70, power of emitting divine fragrance, the power of Surabhi. It beautifully translated. In the Arambha, a yogi body becomes divine, glowing, healthy, emits divine smell. The whole heart becomes void. Bhagavan beautifully says, when you do the Vakyada Sadas continuously in the seeking of space of Paramashiva, continuously when the mind is pulled out of delusion into the seeking space, it just dissolves and you are in the space of Paramashiva. The change simply happens. He has given the 48 hours till today midnight to experience that oneness with Paramashiva by contemplating each of the truth. How it can be unique, but it can be many. How it is constantly happening, but it is completely in the silence. Constantly, the multiverse is just the one and the same, how you experience yourself. Bhagavan beautifully says the perception, how we are perceiving the world and how at what level we are seeing the world, how we look at the world from first floor or we are looking for the helipad. It's completely different. Same way we perceive the world only from the delusion, which is created from our inner space, which is illusion. Constantly creating the illusion and living in the delusion is what we understand as this world. He says so beautifully, if you understand your dream, you understand this world also, a larger dream. And when you start understanding and unclutch from it and do completion from it and go on doing Vakya Sadas, which puts you into deeper and deeper seeking. The seeking of the uniqueness who you are raises you into the ultimate oneness by itself. By constantly contemplating, he says, you should be churning that you can't sleep over that thought current which is happening. Constantly we are going on thinking with our mind and seeking with the deepest gratitude what Bhagavan is trying to make us understand. Simply the revelation happens in all of us. He says the delusion gets pulled out and we get pulled out of delusion and we can experience the liberation When we decide, the decision is the only thing that we have the authority. When we make the decision that seeking the ultimate space of oneness, Paramashiva space is the only space that I want to experience as my reality, simply that becomes the reality. What we are cherishing, continuously enjoying, thinking, want to live, want to experience, whatever is going on in our mind as the basic thought current, if seeking becomes that, simply the revelation of the higher consciousness starts evolving and getting us into liberation. Beautifully, the fragrance, the abundance, everything starts flowing in all of us. Here, the up the pramana, we have the Nayanamar in Madurai, near Madurai temple, near Kaveri, river Kaveri. He's Kungli Kalayanyana. He was very, very authentic to every day offer this fragrance through the incense stick to Lord Shiva. Again and again, he would go every day for all the Kalas and do this seva in the Shiva temple. And this was his only inspiration to life. And he was very poor. He did not have anything to buy the essence. So he goes to the extreme extent of taking the last penny that he had in his house, which he's supposed to buy the food, but he went and bought the essence and he offered it to Lord Shiva. When Shiva saw this dedication, the devotion, the oneness continuously into the space of only offering the seva for Paramashiva as only thought current, that coherent happened in him, simply Paramashiva came down and blessed him and told him he's showering him with abundance. He can go home and eat. Even the last penny, he did not think what will happen if I spend this, what will happen to my family, what will happen to my kids. They won't be eating or they won't be living if I don't give this food. He did not think. He said only if I offer the seva to Paramashiva, simply Paramashiva will shower. And he did not expect anything in return also. He said Paramashiva will take care. I know that deep trust and oneness, that Paramashiva is the ultimate and that's the only thing I need to seek. Every other thought current, he did the tyaga. And only staying in that oneness space, simply he experienced the ultimate. Once he experienced the ultimate, the abundance showered on him. The Apta Pramana, the Atma Pramana, Bhagavan has given millions of darshans to devotees. Millions of devotees have come for darshan and experienced the fragrance, the grace, the beautiful space with Swamiji. The minute they come, they fall into the Turiya state, a heightened intelligence space when he is around. And simply they could experience the divine fragrance. And with Bhagavan's blessing, they sometimes even forget what they want to say from the mind. They just say, I don't have anything to say. I just only want to thank you. They are in deep gratitude. That happens because Bhagavan's continuous presence simply heals and radiates into others when we go next to Bhagavan. All that Bhagavan does in the courtyard is bring all of us into that oneness space. He creates a space, we fall into that oneness, heightened intelligence, and simply start doing what Bhagavan says, pulling us out of delusion, and liberation simply happens. The Shakshi Pramanas, millions of disciple devotees who have been initiated have experienced the divine fragrance in multiple ways, and they have expressed in so many times such a beautiful experience. Suddenly around you, you're in deep meditation, you start really smelling the divine fragrance of sandalwood or jasmine or any other beautiful authentic smell around you. Here we'll be moving to the instruction today for divine fragrance. If you have a partner, that will be the most wonderful. You can sit with a partner. If you don't have a partner, you can sit and share your experience at the end. Let's sit straight, visualize Bhagwan in third eye. Now, whatever fragrance you want to experience, just be in the oneness, unclutched, completely unclutched, and you will experience the highest reality. As Bhagwan manifests through you, you will see that your body weightlessness, the divine fragrance, and the beautiful space, the presence of Bhagwan himself. So let's sit with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Remember Bhagwan in your third eye. Again and again, Bhagwan says, when you remember Bhagwan in your third eye, remembrance is liberation. An absolute unclutching tyaga of as Paramashiva is your only strength. Now declaring complete integrity with Bhagwan. Again and again, when we do the absolute unclutching, any moment, he says, when you're lusty, sleepy, hungry, you are very grounded. Because when we are angry or sleepy, we are very much, the thought currents are grounded to the coherence. When you bring unclutch from that and simply you are in oneness, that you are Paramashiva, to that grounded space, you can experience the oneness with Bhagavan. You experience the oneness with Bhagavan chanting the Mahavakya, which raises your frequency. Again and again, chanting this Mahavakya, Maha Mantra, which is offered into your Jatagni, which is in your stomach, simply radiates the divine presence in you. The more you chant loudly and your body literally vibrates with it, you'll experience the ultimate space. So now we'll have the oneness capsule for 11 minutes. Continuously chant the Mahavakya. Contemplate on Bhagavan, the truth that he had given in the courtyard, how one became many and many, celebrating Bhagavan and experiencing by deep seeking and in gratitude. Simply the revelation happens, the one click. We'll be thinking how one click is going to change. Only one thought of our spouse, or one thought of the ghost, or one thought of the greed simply changes the whole body and the mind. The biochemistry changes. Same way, one thought, one right cognition which clicks with the higher reality simply puts us into the ultimate oneness with Bhagavan. That happens when you contemplate, when you do Vakyas continuously, for the mind to just get dissolved in the space of Paramashiva. So contemplate on the great truth that Bhagavan has given yesterday, and absolute unclutching from the outer world. Any of the thought currents that you have from the outer world, just get redundant of it. Just how when some water falls on an animal, it shakes it off. Just wither it off and completely come back to the listening space of the oneness with Bhagavan by contemplating, chanting the Mahavakya, and remembering Bhagavan in your third eye. Let's start the oneness capsule and chanting Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda, such a beautiful experience. You can record that. If you have a partner, or call one more person, and they can also experience the Surabhi smell across. So you can call them and make a partner with anybody if you're already there in a Zoom, or if you're not having a person next to you, you can call them and tell them you're going to experience the Surabhi smell, the divine fragrance. So intensely connect with them. Have the will persistence. Have the deep seeking. Bhagavan beautifully says that seeking itself takes you and to the change that is required. When we are looking for something, we get that. Suppose you want to read a book, you start reading the preface to understand what the book is about. Like that, the seeking makes us understand who we are, the deeper essence of who we are, how we exist, what we are here for. Everything gets answered when the deep seeking in us starts manifesting. Have the will persistence for experiencing that oneness. The will persistence you have manifested and you have seen it happen in your life, and experiencing that again and again, that I know that I have manifested. I know Paramashiva is manifesting through me. I am Paramashiva. Having that as your cognition makes you manifest powers. Again and again, be very clear, you are manifesting. Whether you're eating, you're talking, you are having a skill, or you are in oneness with Paramashiva. Everything is a manifestation. Everything that is happening, Bhagavan says, there is no logical. There is only multi-dimensional logic. Paramashiva exists and manifests as Panchakritya and manifest all our reality continuously. What we cherish, we become that. Shiva Sankalpa, Mama Sankalpa. His will already has happened. Only we have to align to that and manifest as reality, our reality. So with that space, let's sit straight, visualize Bhagwan. We'll have another 10-minute cycle and continuously chant the Mahavakya. That is the password to raise our frequency. Again and again, we are falling out of the integrity. Integrity to who we are. We are Paramashiva. That's the only source, resource, currency. And that only currency makes us manifest and be in oneness with Paramashiva. So let's chant the Mahavakya deeply with the deep listening and be in oneness with Bhagwan. Remember Bhagwan in your third eye. Contemplate on the great truths that Bhagwan has given again and again, so that the mind, just in seeking, dissolves and you experience the ultimate oneness with Paramashiva. The change beautifully happens in all of us. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll play the oneness capsule for another 10 minutes. Nithyanandam. This is for the social media users, Facebook, YouTube, and Nithyananda TV. Please share your experience in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. Each time Bhagavan beautifully says, go ahead and share and enrich everybody. Continuously, Bhagavan has done one thing is contribution. By sharing and continuously by causing others, reality is the way we contribute. When you start contributing, simply you will be pulled out of delusion and liberation becomes your reality. Constantly, the word we speak is who we are. The beautiful space when you share in this tinyurl.com/power manifestation, you can share it in your page also. And if you share, millions of people are raised into that conscious space and causing others' reality to be the ultimate reality. Bring them for satsang, courtyard sessions, and make them manifest powers. Simply, they will also be liberated, which is your space. One becomes many to celebrate. Each one of us is infinity. How we experience ourselves, and more people in around us start experiencing the liberation. Simply, we will start experiencing the liberation also. With this, let's surrender all star manifestation, powerful cognition to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Again and again, when we are constantly guided by Bhagavan, go on surrendering, whether you manifested or not manifested, that doesn't matter. Go on surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Whatever cognition, wherever you're stuck, simply you'll suddenly see the beautiful liberation happening from that cognition. And let's request Bhagavan with the deep seeking and gratitude for our space to become the oneness space with Bhagavan. With that, let's remember Bhagavan and end this session with a Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Parameswaram Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much for participating. See you in the Kailash Courtyard manifesting session. Don't miss that. Thank you, Nithyananda.